Imagine a world where hope arrives like a silent dawn, unexpected, life-altering. Have you ever felt the crushing weight of a debt you couldn't possibly repay? A mountain of bills that threatened to bury you and your family? This is the story of a leader who understood that burden and chose to lift it secretly, selflessly. A leader whose actions spoke louder than any words. A leader named Ibrahim Traoré. It began in the heart of Burkina Faso, in villages and towns where families struggled daily, where the cost of healthcare was a constant, looming fear. A mother, Aida, her eyes filled with worry, cradled her sick child, little Issa, burning with fever. The local clinic, their only hope. But the bills were insurmountable. "How will we ever afford this?" she whispered, her voice choked with despair. Her husband, Musa, a farmer with calloused hands and a weary heart, could only offer a silent, helpless shrug. He had already sold their meager harvest, borrowed from relatives, but it wasn't enough. Days turned into nights filled with anxiety and prayer. Issa's condition worsened. Ida's hope dwindled. They were trapped, caught in a web of poverty and illness. Then, a miracle. A letter arrived, official, unexpected. It stated that Issa's medical bills, all of them, had been paid in full. Ida and Musa stared at the letter, disbelief etched on their faces. Who? Why? They had no idea. "It can't be true," Musa stammered, his voice trembling. They rushed to the clinic, their hearts pounding with a mixture of hope and apprehension. The administrator confirmed the news. The bills were cleared anonymously. Tears streamed down Aida's face. Tears of relief, of gratitude, of overwhelming joy. Issa would get the care he needed. He would live. This wasn't an isolated incident. Across Burkina Faso, similar stories unfolded. Families received anonymous help, their debts erased, their burdens lifted. Fatima, a widow struggling to raise her children, faced eviction from her home due to mounting medical expenses after a tragic accident. Her husband, gone, her savings depleted, her future bleak. One morning, she found a notice slipped under her door. Her rent paid for the next 6 months. No name, no explanation. Just a lifeline thrown in her darkest hour. Who could have done this, she wondered, her heart overflowing with emotion. Who would show such kindness to a stranger? Old man Ibrahim, a retired teacher, needed urgent surgery, but his pension was barely enough to cover his basic needs. He resigned himself to his fate, believing he would die without treatment. Then, a hospital administrator informed him that his surgery was fully funded by an anonymous donor. Ibrahim wept, not from sadness, but from profound gratitude. He had dedicated his life to educating children, and now, in his time of need, someone had shown him extraordinary compassion. These acts of kindness, seemingly random, were actually part of a larger, carefully orchestrated plan. A plan conceived by one man, President Ibrahim Traoré. He saw the suffering of his people, the desperation in their eyes, the crushing weight of poverty and illness. He knew that words were not enough, that action was required. But he didn't seek publicity. He didn't want accolades. He simply wanted to help, to alleviate the pain, to restore hope. He used his own personal funds and quietly directed resources to pay off the medical debts of countless families. He instructed his staff to keep his involvement a secret. He wanted the beneficiaries to experience the joy of unexpected relief without knowing the source. "It is not about me," he said privately to a close aide. "It is about them, about their well-being, about their future." The mystery surrounding these anonymous acts of kindness deepened, fueling speculation and wonder. People whispered about a guardian angel, a benevolent spirit, watching over them. A journalist, Amadou, became intrigued by these stories. He began investigating, piecing together the clues, determined to uncover the truth. He interviewed families who had received help, he spoke to hospital administrators, he scoured government records. The more he investigated, the more he realized that these acts of kindness were connected, that they were part of a larger, coordinated effort. Finally, he stumbled upon a confidential document, a memo from the president's office, authorizing the use of funds for medical assistance. The memo was unsigned, but the handwriting, the language, it was unmistakably Ibrahim Traoré's. Amadou was stunned. He had always admired Ibrahim, but he never imagined the extent of his compassion, his selflessness. He knew he had a story that could change everything, a story that would reveal the true heart of their leader. But he also knew that Ibrahim would not want the publicity. He had to decide whether to expose the truth or to respect the president's wishes. He wrestled with his conscience, weighing the pros and cons. He knew that revealing Ibrahim's secret would inspire others. It would show the world the kind of leader he truly was. But he also knew that it would violate Ibrahim's privacy. It would expose him to potential criticism and scrutiny. Ultimately, Amadou decided to publish the story, but he did so with great care, emphasizing Ibrahim's humility and selflessness. The article, titled "The Anonymous Benefactor," was published on the front page of the national newspaper. It detailed the stories of the families who had received help. It revealed the evidence linking Ibrahim to the anonymous donations, and it praised his extraordinary compassion. The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. People took to the streets, celebrating Ibrahim as a hero, a savior, a true leader. They chanted his name, they waved banners, they expressed their gratitude in every way imaginable. Ida and Musa, Fatima, Barema, they all learned the truth about their anonymous benefactor. They were overcome with emotion. They couldn't believe that their president, the leader of their country, had personally intervened to help them. They wanted to thank him, to express their gratitude in person, but they knew that he would not want the attention. Instead, they wrote him letters, heartfelt messages of appreciation, expressing their love and admiration. Ibrahim, initially reluctant to accept the praise, was deeply moved by the outpouring of support. He realized that his actions had inspired others, that they had shown the world the true spirit of Burkina Faso. He addressed the nation not to take credit for his actions, but to encourage others to follow his example. "We are all capable of kindness," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "We all have the power to make a difference in the lives of others. Let us strive to be a nation of compassion, a nation of hope, a nation of love." His words resonated deeply with the people of Burkina Faso and beyond. They saw in him a leader who truly cared, a leader who was willing to sacrifice his own comfort and privacy to help others. Ibrahim's actions sparked a wave of philanthropy across the country. People began donating to hospitals, schools, and charities. They volunteered their time, they offered their skills, they did everything they could to help those in need. Burkina Faso became a beacon of hope, a symbol of compassion, a testament to the power of one man's selfless actions. But the story doesn't end there. The impact of Ibrahim's leadership extended far beyond the borders of Burkina Faso. His example inspired leaders across the African continent and around the world. They saw in him a model of ethical leadership, a leader who prioritized the well-being of his people above all else. They began to implement similar programs in their own countries, providing healthcare, education, and social services to those in need. Ibrahim became a symbol of hope for the entire African continent, a visionary leader who was transforming lives and inspiring generations. He traveled to other countries, sharing his story, encouraging others to embrace compassion and selflessness. He spoke at international conferences, advocating for policies that would promote economic development, social justice, and human rights. He became a global icon, a champion of the poor and marginalized, a voice for the voiceless. But despite his international acclaim, Ibrahim remained humble and grounded. He never forgot his roots. He never lost his connection to the people of Burkina Faso. He continued to live a simple life, dedicated to serving his country and his people. He visited villages and towns, listening to their concerns, addressing their needs. He spent time with children, inspiring them to dream big, to believe in themselves, to strive for a better future. He was a leader who led by example, a leader who inspired hope, a leader who transformed lives. And so, the story of Ibrahim, the anonymous benefactor, the compassionate leader, continues to unfold. It is a story that reminds us of the power of kindness, the importance of selflessness, the transformative impact of ethical leadership. It is a story that inspires us to be better, to do better, to make a difference in the world. Because in the end, it is not about power or wealth or fame. It is about love, compassion, and service to others. It is about leaving the world a better place than we found it. Ibrahim understood this, and he lived his life accordingly. He was not just a president. He was a leader, a visionary, a beacon of hope for Burkina Faso and for the entire African continent. He showed the world that true leadership is not about self-promotion, but about self-sacrifice. It is not about personal gain, but about the common good. It is not about power, but about people. And so, the legacy of Ibrahim will live on, inspiring generations to come. His story will be told and retold, reminding us that one person, one act of kindness, can change the world. Imagine the ripple effect of such compassion spreading outwards, touching countless lives, creating a world where hope triumphs over despair, where love conquers hate, where kindness prevails. This is the vision of Ibrahim, a vision that is now becoming a reality. But the journey is not over. There is still much work to be done. Poverty, inequality, injustice, these challenges still persist. But with leaders like Ibrahim, with his unwavering commitment to his people, with his boundless compassion, we can overcome these challenges. We can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, where everyone has access to healthcare, education, and a decent standard of living. We can build a future where peace, justice, and equality reign supreme. This is the dream of Ibrahim, a dream that we must all share. Let us be inspired by his example. Let us follow in his footsteps. Let us work together to create a better world for all. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the embodiment of compassion, the champions of justice, the beacons of hope. Let us be the legacy of Ibrahim, the story of Ida, Musa, Fatima, Borima, their lives touched by an unseen hand, a hand guided by a heart of gold. They represent countless others, families across Burkina Faso, lifted from the brink by a leader who chose to serve in silence. Think about the trust, the faith it takes to believe in a leader who operates not for applause, but for the quiet dignity of his people. Ibrahim's actions weren't just about paying bills, they were about restoring dignity, about reminding people that they are not forgotten, that their struggles are seen, that their lives matter. He understood that poverty is not just a lack of money, it's a lack of opportunity, a lack of hope, a lack of belief in oneself. By alleviating the financial burden, he gave these families a chance to breathe, to rebuild, to dream again. He gave Issa a chance to live, Fatima a chance to keep her home, Borima a chance to see his grandchildren grow up. These are not just stories, they are testaments to the power of compassion, the transformative impact of ethical leadership. They are reminders that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, there is always light, there is always someone who cares. And that someone, in this case, was Ibrahim. He could have used his power and position for personal gain. He could have sought fame and fortune. He could have ignored the suffering of his people, but he didn't. He chose to serve. He chose to give. He chose to love. And in doing so, he became a true leader, a visionary, a beacon of hope for Burkina Faso and for the world. Imagine the impact if every leader, every politician, every person in a position of power followed his example. What kind of world would we live in? A world where poverty is eradicated, where inequality is eliminated, where justice prevails. A world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, where everyone is treated with dignity and respect, where everyone is loved and valued. This is the world that Ibrahim is striving to create, and it is a world that we can all help to build. Let us be inspired by his example. Let us follow in his footsteps. Let us work together to make this dream a reality. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the legacy of Ibrahim. Consider the ripple effect, the exponential growth of kindness, when one act of selflessness inspires countless others. Ibrahim's actions didn't just help the families he directly assisted, they inspired a nation and beyond. They showed the world that true leadership is not about power or control, but about service and sacrifice. They demonstrated that even in the face of overwhelming challenges, there is always hope. There is always a way to make a difference. They proved that one person, one act of kindness, can change the world. And that is a powerful message, a message that we need to hear now more than ever. In a world filled with division and conflict, with hatred and fear, we need leaders who will unite us, who will inspire us, who will remind us of our shared humanity. We need leaders who will put the needs of others before their own, who will serve with humility and compassion, who will lead with integrity and courage. We need leaders like Ibrahim. He is not perfect, no one is, but he is a leader who is striving to do what is right, who is committed to his people, who is dedicated to making a difference. And that is something to be admired, something to be celebrated, something to be emulated. So let us celebrate the legacy of Ibrahim. Let us honor his commitment to compassion. Let us be inspired by his example. And let us all strive to be a little more like him, a little more kind, a little more selfless, a little more dedicated to serving others. Because in the end, that is what truly matters. It is not about what we have, but about what we give. It is not about what we achieve, but about what we contribute. It is not about our own success, but about the success of others. It is about leaving the world a better place than we found it. And that is a legacy worth striving for. That is a legacy that will endure. That is the legacy of Ibrahim. He chose to lead with his heart, to govern with compassion, to serve with humility. His actions resonated far beyond the immediate relief they provided. They sparked a movement, a wave of kindness that continues to spread. Imagine the conversations sparked around dinner tables, the discussions in schools, the debates in Parliament, all centered on the question, what can I do to help? Ibrahim's secret acts of generosity became a catalyst for change, a reminder that even the smallest act of kindness can have a profound impact. He didn't just pay bills, he invested in hope. He sowed seeds of compassion. He cultivated a culture of giving. He showed the world that true leadership is not about wielding power, but about empowering others. He demonstrated that the greatest measure of success is not personal wealth or fame, but the positive impact we have on the lives of those around us. He proved that one person, with a heart full of love and a commitment to service can truly change the world. And that is a message that resonates with people of all backgrounds, all beliefs, all nationalities. It is a message that transcends borders, that unites us in our shared humanity, that inspires us to be better versions of ourselves. So, let us embrace this message. Let us live it out, our own lives. Let us create a world where kindness is the norm, where compassion is the driving force, where service is the ultimate goal. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the legacy of Ibrahim. Consider the profound psychological impact of Ibrahim's actions. Beyond the immediate financial relief, he instilled a sense of hope and security in the hearts of his people. He showed them that they were not alone, that their struggles were seen, that their leader cared about their well-being. This sense of security, this belief in a brighter future, can have a transformative effect on individuals and communities. It can lead to increased productivity, improved health, stronger relationships, and a greater sense of purpose. When people feel safe and supported, they are more likely to take risks, to pursue their dreams, to contribute to society. Ibrahim's actions created a virtuous cycle where kindness begets kindness, where hope begets hope, where success begets success. He didn't just solve immediate problems, he laid the foundation for long-term prosperity and well-being. He understood that true leadership is not just about providing material assistance, but about fostering a sense of community, a sense of belonging, a sense of shared purpose. He created a society where people felt connected to one another, where they were willing to help each other, where they believed in the power of collective action. And that is a legacy that will endure for generations to come. So, let us celebrate the wisdom of Ibrahim. Let us honor his commitment to community. Let us be inspired by his vision. And let us all strive to create societies where everyone feels safe, supported, and empowered to reach their full potential. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the legacy of Ibrahim. Ibrahim's story challenges the conventional definition of leadership. He didn't seek power for personal gain. He didn't crave recognition or applause. He simply wanted to serve his people. He understood that true leadership is not about commanding respect, but about earning it. It is not about self-promotion, but about self-sacrifice. It is not about personal ambition, but about the common good. He led by example, demonstrating the values he wanted to see in his society: compassion, humility, integrity, and service. He showed the world that true leadership is not about position or title, but about character and action. It is about being a role model, a mentor, a guide. It is about inspiring others to be their best selves, to reach their full potential, to make a positive impact on the world. Ibrahim's leadership style is a refreshing departure from the norm, a reminder that there is a better way to lead, a more ethical way to govern, a more compassionate way to serve. And that is a message that resonates with people who are tired of the status quo, who are looking for leaders who are authentic, who are genuine, who truly care. So, let us embrace the leadership style of Ibrahim. Let us honor his commitment to ethical governance. Let us be inspired by his example, and let us all strive to be leaders in our own lives, in our own communities, in our own spheres of influence. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the legacy of Ibrahim. The silence surrounding Ibrahim's generosity speaks volumes. He wasn't seeking accolades. He wasn't trying to build a political brand. He was simply acting out of the goodness of his heart. This humility is a rare and precious quality in a leader, a sign of genuine selflessness and integrity. It demonstrates that his motives were pure, that he was truly focused on serving his people, not on promoting himself. His silence also allowed the beneficiaries of his generosity to experience the joy of unexpected relief without feeling indebted or obligated. They were able to receive the help they needed without having to worry about repaying a favor or being used for political gain. Ibrahim's actions were a pure act of kindness, a gift given freely and unconditionally. And that is a powerful message, a reminder that true generosity is not about expecting something in return, but about giving without reservation. So, let us celebrate the humility of Ibrahim. Let us honor his commitment to selfless service. Let us be inspired by his example, and let us all strive to be more generous in our own lives, to give without expecting anything in return, to act out of the goodness of our hearts. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the legacy of Ibrahim. The impact of Ibrahim's actions extends beyond the material realm. He instilled a sense of hope and dignity in the hearts of his people, reminding them that they are valued, that they are worthy of respect, that they are capable of achieving great things. This sense of hope and dignity is essential for building a strong and resilient society. When people believe in themselves, when they feel valued and respected, they are more likely to invest in their future, to contribute to their communities, to strive for excellence. Ibrahim's actions created a positive feedback loop where hope begets hope, where dignity begets dignity, where success begets success. He didn't just alleviate poverty. He empowered his people to overcome adversity and build a better future for themselves. He understood that true leadership is not just about providing material assistance, but about fostering a sense of self-worth, a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. And that is a legacy that will endure for generations to come. So let us celebrate the vision of Ibrahim. Let us honor his commitment to empowering his people. Let us be inspired by his example. And let us all strive to create societies where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered to reach their full potential. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the legacy of Ibrahim. Ibrahim's story is a powerful reminder that true leadership is not about power or position, but about service and sacrifice. It's about leading with compassion, governing with integrity, and inspiring hope in the hearts of others. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. The ripple effect of a single act of kindness can extend far beyond its initial intention, touching lives in ways the benefactor may never fully realize. It speaks to the profound human capacity for empathy and the transformative power of selfless giving. Imagine a world where such acts were commonplace, where individuals in positions of power and influence consistently chose to alleviate the burdens of those less fortunate. The potential for positive change would be immense, creating a society characterized by compassion, understanding, and mutual support. However, the rarity of such actions underscores a deeper societal issue. Why is it that acts of genuine altruism often come as a surprise, even a shock? Perhaps it's because we've become accustomed to a world where self-interest and personal gain often take precedence over the well-being of others. We live in an era where the pursuit of wealth and power is often glorified, and acts of generosity are sometimes viewed with suspicion, as if there must be an ulterior motive behind them. This cynicism can be corrosive, eroding our faith in humanity and making us less likely to extend a helping hand to those in need. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy where our expectations of selfishness lead us to perceive the world through a lens of distrust, further reinforcing our negative assumptions. But the story of President Traore, or rather, the story of any individual who chooses to act with selfless kindness, offers a glimmer of hope. It reminds us that there are still people who believe in the inherent goodness of humanity, who are willing to put the needs of others before their own. These individuals are the beacons of light in a world that often feels shrouded in darkness. The true impact of such acts extends far beyond the immediate beneficiaries. When someone receives an unexpected act of kindness, It not only alleviates their immediate burden, but also restores their faith in humanity. It reminds them that they are not alone, that there are people who care about their well-being, even if they are strangers. This sense of connection and belonging can be incredibly powerful, empowering individuals to overcome adversity and to pay it forward to others. Moreover, acts of kindness have a contagious effect. When we witness someone acting with generosity and compassion, it inspires us to do the same. It creates a positive feedback loop, where one act of kindness leads to another, creating a ripple effect that spreads throughout the community. The question then becomes, how can we cultivate a society where such acts are more commonplace? How can we foster a culture of empathy and compassion that encourages individuals to prioritize the well-being of others? One answer lies in education. From a young age, children should be taught the importance of empathy, compassion, and selfless giving. They should be encouraged to consider the perspectives of others, to understand their struggles, and to find ways to help. This can be achieved through storytelling, role-playing, and community service projects. Another answer lies in leadership. Leaders, whether in government, business, or community organizations, have a responsibility to model ethical behavior and to promote a culture of compassion. They should prioritize the well-being of their constituents, employees, and stakeholders, and they should be willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. Furthermore, we need to challenge the prevailing narrative that equates success with wealth and power. We need to redefine success in terms of impact, contribution, and the positive difference we make in the lives of others. We need to celebrate those who choose to dedicate their lives to serving others, rather than those who simply accumulate wealth and power. We also need to create systems that support and encourage acts of kindness. This can include policies that incentivize charitable giving, programs that connect volunteers with those in need, and initiatives that promote social responsibility. However, the most important factor is individual choice. Each and every one of us has the power to make a difference in the lives of others, no matter how small. It could be as simple as offering a kind word to a stranger, volunteering at a local charity, or donating to a worthy cause. The key is to be mindful of the needs of those around us, and to be willing to act with compassion and generosity. We don't need to be wealthy or powerful to make a difference. All we need is a willingness to care and a desire to help. The story of the president who secretly paid hospital bills is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. It's a reminder that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary acts of kindness, and that even a single act of generosity can have a profound impact on the lives of others. Let us all strive to be the kind of people who make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the beacons of light that guide others through the darkness. Let us remember that true wealth lies not in what we accumulate, but in what we give away. True power lies not in what we control, but in what we empower. And true success lies not in what we achieve for ourselves, but in what we achieve for others. The world needs more acts of kindness, more acts of compassion, and more acts of selfless giving. Let us all do our part to make it happen. Let us all be the heroes of our own stories, the benefactors of our own communities, and the champions of a more just and compassionate world. Perhaps the greatest lesson to be learned is that the act of giving is often more rewarding than the act of receiving. When we give to others, we not only alleviate their suffering, but also enrich our own lives. We experience a sense of purpose, fulfillment, and connection that is far more valuable than any material possession. So let us all embrace the spirit of generosity, and let us all strive to make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. Let us be the change we wish to see in the world. Let us be the beacons of light that guide others through the darkness. And let us never forget that even the smallest act of kindness can have a profound impact on the lives of others. It can be the difference between despair and hope, between loneliness and connection, between darkness and light. Let us all choose to be the light. Let us all choose to be the hope. Let us all choose to be the kindness that the world so desperately needs.